Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Comic Book Talk Podcast for February 17th, 2020. I'm Chris Adams, Ticketmaster, joined by. It's not your name.
How do you know? I spoke that in a language that is so secret that only a few people can understand. The language of,
I'm
and
pretty,
that was a fish.
I'm
That
pretty sure
was
you don't understand it.
I even
And
excuse
you
me.
didn't
That
even,
was
know what that just came
I
out.
put that was my that is my first, my middle, and my last name pronunciated in perfect. So there you go. Anyways, this is Buff Larkin for all those who do not speak the secret language. Um, can I tell you a secret, out there, everybody, about how we do this podcast? Um, I usually get up early and I texted Tekken, hey Tekken, I know you haven't slept in like 5 days from all your raging parties. You want to jump on? He goes, and that's usually his code for okay. So this time I said, hey, let's talk like at 9 o'clock in the morning. He goes, and I go, okay,
What?
how about ten
I didn't
o'clock?
say that.
Well, basically, you say, what time is that in my time? And I go, and I had to Google it, and it's like 8 o'clock, which I think is weird because usually it's only like a half hour difference. That's what I thought it
There
always
can't
was.
be a half-hour difference. That's not how time zones work. Also, you're always saying, okay, so like, oh, let's get on at 9. So we're recording at 9:30. It's like, what? What? Do you not know
I'm
how
still,
time works?
I'm still eating my Raisin Bran was what Tekken says
That
usually.
is not.
I
I
need my
mean,
bran.
whatever.
It keeps the engine going, if you know what I mean. Gets all the fossil fuel out of me. You know what I'm saying? And so I say, okay, how about 10 o'clock? So okay, that's fine. So here I am, family day. I'm just waking up, and I get a lovely text message from Tekken. It's like an hour and a half before we're supposed to start. Hey, just let me know when you're on. It's like, okay, okay, give me half an hour, get this thing done. Perfect. All right, so that's how it works. It's like it's war zone when I'm getting started. But Tekken, I've been up all night grinding on Tom Clancy, so I might as well get you to come in and jump on right now so I can have some more fun later on.
I
So that's
also
good.
didn't say that, so super not accurate at all.
You're throwing a lot of inaccurates out there. You know what I have to say about that? my my mother's a respectable person. Why would you say that about her? Sir, if I had a glove, I'd slap you in the face right now and call a duel for 12 noon, 10 paces and fire at will. Why? I expect I expect a nice formal apology to my mother for what you just said to her.
I didn't even know what I just said. I just made noises, so
That's
whatever.
yeah, likely story. Yeah, tell that to the police. Oh, you can't because you'll be
Tell
shot
that
from
to
our
the
duel.
police.
How dare you, sir? Anyways, Tekken came up with an idea. You got more subdued me today because I have family upstairs, so you won't hear me rant and raving as you usually do, except for when Tekken brings up Fantastic Four versus X-Men or whatever the hell is that book. It's a beautiful book, and it just rubbed me the wrong way, just like Tekken grinding on Tom Clancy is the wrong way. So that's good. But we'll talk about Tekken grinding on Tom Clancy later on in the show. So Tekken,
Yeah.
uh, set us up. What are we talking about first?
Uh,
You want to talk about Hunter Biden, don't you?
I don't know. What? No.
Oh, yeah, that's what you
I
said,
never
Joe.
said anything about Hunter Biden.
We got to talk about the Bidens. I said okay.
I just said I just wanted to bring up, like a couple episodes ago when I said, you know,
The Republican
um,
Party set up Bob Dole in the 1990s to be a sacrificial lamb to what the Clinton, uh, to what the Clinton, and they said the same thing with McCain, and the same thing with Mitch, Mitch, Mitch Rodney, uh, sacrificial lambs. U.S. politics is always an two-term and out person, and
oh
we've all
man,
seen it now. You bring in a Democrat, Clinton, 2 terms, boom. Then you wash your mouth out with the Democrats, and then you bring in
Wash
Bushy,
your mouth out with the Democrats.
and then you bring in Bushy, and Bushy, you give him 2 terms, right? And who did he beat? Who did Bush
Oh,
beat? Who did
he beat Gore and Kerry.
oh, oh yeah, that was the Chad thing. So that was the so I wouldn't say I can't say the Bob Gore Al
Bob Gore.
Gore. I'm still on Bob Dole. Al Gore was a sacrificial lamb to the machine. I think this guy started a war, and people really wanted to go, and so Al Gore was a potential, right? Again, another vice president who they thought would win and didn't. So let that be history repeating itself soon. Anyways, but then they had the McCain, and that was just a sacrificial lamb there, and now we got whoever's coming up here. I swear that America is a 2-term presidential system that people dig, and then like people dig in their heels to make sure that it's 2 terms for their particular party, and then they'll say, okay, fine, we had our fun. You have it for 2 terms now. You screw up our country for 2 terms for 8 years, and then we get it back. I'd like to see like 10 years from now, right? See who exactly are the front runners, because everybody in 10 years, most of these people in the Senate and all that are dead. They're old. They're older than Methuselah now. So it's like they're going to be dead, and then bam, we're going to see some new fresh faces.
Ugh.
And it'll be interesting. I hope you got the rookie cards because they're going to be worth something someday. Anyway, Bob Dole was a sacrificial lamb. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, I mentioned that.
Did Bob Dole know how to play a saxophone? No.
I don't know.
So there you go. The only thing that broke the system was George W. Like the George Senior, Bush Senior, and he only went 1 term. But then they had 2 terms of Reagan already, and they just kept the machine going with Bush, right? And so therefore people kind of gave it an extra little leeway, and then it just went off the rails. So there you go.
But yeah, it said
And a saxophone helped. That's how sad it was. Politics was won. The presidency was won because somebody played a saxophone on Arsenio Hall. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, I said Joe Biden had more baggage than Spider-Man: A New Day, and it turns out people agree. So I'd like to say I was right. So suck it, Joe Biden.
So, wow. Do you think his heart was even in it? Because it took him a while to even come in, right? So it's like, I don't. I think he said, "Well, let's give it a shot. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work." And like that. What about this? What about this new guy? What about the Michael Bloomberg or whatever?
What about him?
Is he the Ross Perot of? Like
He's
is this
not a
guy?
third party, so no, he's not Ross
So
Perot.
so he's going for the Democrat. He's just going to go do it his way. $110 million he's got in advertising, heading up to Super Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I hope somebody just beats Trump. That's all I care about. Because if people don't see what he's doing, then because I've talked to you about this, how much of a big fear that we have of that people just don't want to be wrong about somebody, and therefore they'll just stick to the party lines. This guy could, like he said, he could shoot somebody in Fifth Avenue and get away with it. This is his mentality, right? And now since he in quotes got off on his charges, it's like, what are we doing here? It's like now he's kicking people out, firing them, and it's like, geez Louise, it's like, come on now. This guy doesn't deserve. Anyways, whatever. Whatever. It makes my blood angry. I ever since he got elected, every day I go on CNN first and see what the stupid crap he's done, and then I just get angry for the rest of the day. So I haven't gone on there yet. It angers me blood. That's what it is. Anyways, that's my standard. So anyways, that's it for that. Let's talk about comic books. I hope put a timestamp, all right, on this one. Just put political talk between
First 10 minutes. I'm looking
first.
at the time. We're at like
Yeah,
we're at almost at 10 minutes. So yeah, first
good.
2 minutes.
So let's just put timestamps on this one, all right? So if you want to skip the politics, skip it because I'm Canadian. I don't give two fricks. But you're my neighbor, and you guys, if you guys get blown up, I'm more likely going to get some, the wind blowing the radioactive dust my way. All right, so screw you. Actually, the wind usually blows from the north, so it'll probably be more Mexico's problem. But they have enough problems as is. Don't get me started with that. Anyways, all right. What do you want to start with? I want to rip somebody into two. So make it good.
Um, well, I guess we can start with the Fantastic Four and X-Men thing since we can
Sure.
just do comp or whatever random video game stuff after that.
Have you ever heard the old expression, Tekken? You can hope in one hand and shit in the other, and see what fills up first.
No.
No? Okay. So, but you get the idea, right? So you can hope all you want, but in reality, it's going to bite you in the butt. Well, after reading X Men versus Fantastic Four, whatever it's called, it's like you can shit in one hand and then you shit in the other, and that's what you get after reading that book because I am furious at how they portrayed that book. It was ridiculous. I did not like it at all. Go ahead. You try to defend it now, and then I'll rip you apart. Go ahead.
What did you like? What made you have such a strong reaction?
Because in my heart,
Was it because I'm Reed Richards, I can't solve everything, including my best friend and son's condition? I guess I don't know everything.
no, it's that everybody's turned out to be a douche in this book, and they're heroes. And I know at the end of all this, they'll be like they're painting themselves into a corner where somebody's coming out to be a giant jackass, either Professor X or Reed, right? When no, it's not. It shouldn't be like that. It should be absolutely everybody. They're heroes, and I know there's the gray line, and to make an interesting story, they have to blur the gray line. It's just for this one, everybody comes off looking like a giant idiot, and it just grinds me the wrong way. It's like you grinding with on Tom Clancy, something. Sure, it's fun, but it's just in the wrong way. So, or maybe it's not. You gotta think about that. But anyways, no, the way the book was written, it was just everybody comes off looking like a giant douche, and it felt like a big waste of my time reading it. I get where they're trying to get to. I just don't like the journey. So, but that's up to me. I'm not going to read number two. Here's how it is. Franklin's going to decide, and they say, "Oh, he has to be on the island." It's like, no, he doesn't. He's Franklin Richards. But
I mean, that's also kind of weird because they do have like the whole gates, so he could just like put a flower in uh the Baxter building and be like, okay, I could just go whenever I want to. So problem solved.
yeah, but they don't trust Reed. That's the whole thing, right? Reed, who saved the world many, many multiple times. Let's talk about science.
I
And
mean, there was the whole thing, New Avengers with Illuminati.
yeah, but who else was in the Illuminati?
Xavier.
Exactly. So shut up.
But he was dead at the time.
Oh. Okay, there you go. No, what? No, you're. He was
Yeah.
just
Beast
his
was on the
hands.
thing.
His hands were just as dirty at the very start of the Illuminati. When the first Illuminati came out, old Chucky was in there too. So no, nice try.
I'm just saying, he wasn't around when when it was all like, okay, so there's all these planets like collide or Earth's collided and blowing up. We've got to do something. What do we do, guys? And then they blew up a planet, or Namor did anyway. And he was like, "That's how
Yeah,
you do it, buddy." And then
yeah.
and then the Cabal took over, and they're like, "Yeah, we like this. We'll solve the problem."
See,
It's like Xavier wasn't around then. He would have been
no,
like,
he would have went. Oh, the batteries went on my chair.
batteries on my chair.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, yeah. So don't be pointing fingers. I just remember when you point a finger at somebody, there's three pointing back at you. So there you go. So that's Charles Xavier saying, you're doing this. No, there's fingers pointing back at you, Chucky boy. It's like let the boy. And of course, who they send? They send a hoochie woman, that Kitty Pryde there to try to get.
Gucci.
Yeah, oh yeah, and why did they do that? Oh, because he has a special connection. Yeah, we get your connection. Uh-huh. And try to persuade him to come on to the island. If you were upfront and honest, you send, Magneto, or you send some big name, say, "Hey, listen, you're a mutant. We want you on the island. Let's go." And he's like, no, but they send the woman to try to persuade him that way. It's like master plan number 106 right there.
Number 106.
Don't even talk to me what 105 is, because it leads to a lot of different things. So that's good. Anyways, continue on. Tell me how great this book is, so I can poop on it.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say it was that great, so
Some I think was it Dugan that wrote the book, because I have a lot of respect for him. He's one of my favorite writers
I
out there.
don't
But
know who wrote it actually. I know
because,
Dodson did the art.
yeah, of course, yeah, exactly. But I totally agree with you. Anyways, he's one of my favorites because he writes the Incredible Hulk book, which is it's just a fantastic read. But I will say this: that I get what they're doing, and they're creating some. They all look like dinks right now, and I don't like my heroes looking like dinks. So and especially since it's the modus operandi of the X-Men now, because you're not quite sure, especially after the latest issue of X-Men, which I hope you've read,
No, I haven't read it.
with the
I'm behind
Mystique.
on everything
Oh,
because I've
okay.
been grinding so
Well,
much, on Tom Clancy.
on
So
Tom Clancy. Don't forget, yeah, make sure you say on Tom Clancy. Um, well, I can understand, but when you read that book, it is going to blow your mind again. Hickman has once again.
ooh,
Yep.
ooh,
Yeah. Do you want me to leave you alone?
yeah.
Okay, I'll leave you alone right now because you seem to be having some good times over there without me. Anyway.
I forgot how good the Hickman magic was.
Yes,
I
well,
mean,
you're.
it's so weird because like House of X and Powers of X wasn't that long ago, but
Yeah.
I kind of, yeah, gaming just
Again,
took over. So
it just shows how uh, Chuck and Magneto and all them. It's not exactly going to be going as smooth as what they think it's going to be. So it's very good. There is tension in the air. Dun dun dun. Anyways, X-Men versus Fantastic Four. Meh, I'll skip it. I have no interest in there. There's no the guy can create universes, so I'm not really worried. If they find out what's wrong with him, they'll find out what's wrong with him. I'm okay. Next. Basically, you shit in one hand and then you shit in the other, and that's what you get. That's my feeling about that issue.
but what if they don't, and he's just a normal dude without powers, and it's like, oh, I used to have powers, no, I don't. I'm Franklin Richards,
Good.
son of
Then
the smartest man, but no powers
you
anymore.
know my sister's got the brains, and I got my mom's, yeah, on my mom's side then, and oh god, I'm screwed. So yeah, get in a rocket, go up into space. There you go. Hopefully some gamma rays will knock you senseless. Anyways, but yeah. Well, if he loses powers, then he will get them back. That's how it works. Maybe he's just going through puberty.
Oh yeah, because they did talk about the whole aging thing at the beginning of like
Yeah.
how he did that happen recently? Because I thought he was still a kid too, and I was like, wait, he's older.
It it, it happened between, I think, between the Hickman runs. I think that something like that happened.
Mm.
He hit puberty, and his thoughts are other places now, so that's good. But once that gets over with, then boom. Do you know what the age of the when men hit their sexual peak is? You know
18.
what age? 19.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's got a couple more years, and then that gets out of his system, and then ba ba boom, creating universes again. This one will have lots of naked women in it. Ding ding ding. There you go. So, do you know what the sexual peak for a woman is?
42.
39.
How do you know this?
I have to. Yeah, I have to know these things, so I can use them to my own advantage.
Okay, if you say so.
How old you, baby? Oh yeah, hey baby, you're still in your prime. Boom. I have no idea. I'm too married. Anyways, so what else is next?
Uh, Games.
Games. Yeah, what was your favorite game from last year?
Devil May Cry 5.
They'll make. Oh yeah, that's right. We did talk about that. And you actually, so
But you
you've
didn't talk
got.
about. Didn't you talk? Did you talk about yours?
I talked about mine. I think mine was.
Dragon
I think
Quest.
what Dragon Quest, yes, which I platinumed, which I was very proud of. Even though I had to go onto Google and get the, you have to get all the outfits of all the characters, and that took forever to do, but it was good. I really enjoyed that game. But but thing is, you have given up on Destiny. Destiny is not
I
your friend
haven't given
anymore.
up on it. I just
Well,
don't
you're
mention
grind.
it because it doesn't deserve to come out of, or doesn't. It is beneath me, so I am not even going to mention it because it's unworthy.
Happy Valentine's Day.
It's-
There you go. Tekken's belief. Don't put that on a Valentine's Day card, by the way. It won't help you with anything. You're so far beneath me. Happy Valentine's Day, honey.
oh my gosh! I mean, I'm just saying, like, there, like the last two times I wanted to play that game, there were like technical issues, and it's like the servers were having issues, and it's like, dude, I need a fix, all right? And it's like, if you can't satisfy me,
If
I
I
got
can't
plenty of games that can.
if I can't grind on Destiny, which we've mentioned in previous podcasts, is like a stripper. You can't grind because Destiny all she wants is your money.
So,
She'll give you a good time, but all she wants is your money. She doesn't want nothing else. Now you've gone and started grinding on Tom Clancy, so that's all right. So you picked up what Tom Clancy game that you are enjoying so much?
um, well, I picked up Division 2 because it's $3 on the PSN store. I
And
didn't
how
enjoy the first one, Division 1, because I played through that, and it's kind of if you're playing it solo and like you get to an area and you're under leveled and you're dying in one shot from a grenade launcher enemy, and it's like, oh, that's that's balanced, that's real fair, this is fun, this is great, having a great time. Oh, so yeah,
wish you were here?
there were some parts of that game where I was like, this is terrible, but for the most part it's pretty much just mediocre garbage, and I was like, you know what, this game makes Destiny look good. I didn't think I'd ever say it, but Division, you're just fulfilling that dream of like me not like, I thought the grass would be greener on the other side, and it was purple and terrible and like poisonous. So thanks for
So
that.
so
So I
you
soldiered
so,
through that one, and then I started the second game, which is much better. And I was like, oh, okay, well this is, they fixed it. Just like Destiny, they make another one and they fix a lot of things. It's like, oh, much improved. Good job.
so just like so are you playing with people now? Is it there's still because of 3.99 or whatever it is, $3? Is there people jumping on there now playing for the first time? Are you starting to play with people online, or are you just still just playing with yourself?
Um, I did the first time because I was like, okay, let me have people join me to play so I can see what this is like. And it seems like there's a lot of people playing, but then the game like does things where it's like it skips cutscenes if you're not there, so you like don't see the story. And I want to play for the story, so it's like, oh, I'm not doing that anymore. So I just stopped, and I was like, yeah, you know what, F it. I'm just gonna
So you're
solo
the
it.
guy.
And I'm not having any issues soloing it this time because it's better balanced for that.
What's better in your world? A game that has like a minute cutscene and then you get into playing, or do you want the big scaping 5 minute cutscene that you go, my God, when's this over with so I can start shooting people?
I never say that.
But what would you rather have?
The 5 minute cutscene.
You're one of those people.
I would always rather have more story.
Yeah, okay, so would you rather have a 5 minute cutscene that you can't turn off? As in, you watch it for a minute, you go, okay, this is boring. You hit the X button, you start playing. Or would you rather?
Um, I mean,
Or
I wouldn't skip it anyway because I don't skip them, so that's
okay,
not really an issue.
okay, that's fine. That's fine. Hey, at 2 in the morning, you do whatever you want to do. That's fine. You want to rush it. You don't want to rush it. It's all good. Okay. And so, what is your favorite part about Division Two?
The location, I guess, because it's in DC, and it's weird because it's like, because I hadn't played it, and so like when I go to play after playing all these other games that are like semi open world or open world, it's like Borderlands and other stuff. Destiny is kind of like that in like the patrol zones, and like you're just going through the areas, and it's kind of empty. But then it's like, I guess, the story conceit is that like a plague or a chemical weapon did just like go off and kill like 90% of the population. So of course it's empty because everybody's dead. So it's like just kind of neat to just go through and like bunch of empty cars and abandon everything and nobody around 'cause they're all dead, and then just the little factions vying for survival and like stuff like that. It's kind of neat. I guess it's just like night. It's kind of like interesting because in like Division 1 you're in New York City, so it's like all these skyscrapers and like empty streets and like buildings and subways, and then you go to DC and it's like all the historical monuments of that area. So it's like you start off and you're at the White House, and then you're like going to the FBI building, and then there's like a bunch of other places. It's like, oh, kind of neat, all the landmarks from the
And, and do
place
you
it's based in.
and knowing you, do you go into the White House and you try shooting people?
You can't.
I'm asking you now because
You can't.
just in case we're getting monitored, I just want to make sure that if you answer it the right way, you might get a visit soon.
You
You might
can't.
get a knock on your door that you might have to answer.
You can't do that because it's a safe zone, and you can't use your weapons or abilities in safe zones. So you can't do that anyway.
Oh, very good, very good, good answer, good answer, good talk. I'm glad you're not getting arrested today. That's good. Um, all right. Then what other games? Because the $3 game is a $3 game. What else did you buy? Because I know you got money coming out of your yin yang. So
I'm saving my money because everything got delayed. Remember Silver Fist? Your little Silver Fist comment? Remember that?
Johnny Silverfist,
Yeah.
Waka Waka, Waka Waka. Everybody loves a good Waka.
Actually, it's funny because like I guess I had pre-ordered Dreams and like I had it in early access. I just never played it. So it's like it's been downloaded on my PS4 for like ever, and then it finally came out, so I can like play that. But it's like not really a normal game. You just make things. So
Okay, so
got.
is it like okay? That was my next question because I saw the trailer for it, and I
Mhm.
said, okay, what is the game and what is not? So so is it kind of like Little Big Planet kind of a mentality, or is it what exactly? Or is it just different levels created differently by different people?
it's it's more involved than Little Big Planet because you don't just make levels. You make like entire different like games and experiences, and then you can like play other people's too. So it is like the whole play, create, share thing, just not stages. It's like an entire like games of things, which is
Okay,
pretty
so
cool.
so one level could be you shooting people, shooting zombies, right?
Hmm.
And then the next level, you could be flying high above the clouds,
Yes. It could be.
having
It's.
ha
I mean,
having
I
air,
don't want to say it could be anything, but it could literally be as like whatever the limit of your imagination is of like what you can make.
or then in saying that for Tekken, you would have it where you're being chased by naked women all over the place, and you have to try to avoid them.
I'm pretty
But you
sure they have
but
some sort of
but you've created a room with no doors or windows, so they always catch you. Darn that game. You always lose. Darn it.
I'm pretty sure there's some sort of like standard that you can't like just put whatever out there. I mean, you could probably like have it locally be on your thing, but like you couldn't share it because it'd probably be like flagged or something.
Yeah, it'll be something, all right. As I always say when people to bring up standards, I say, "Hey, I've upped my standards, so up yours." So there you go.
There was like some other game that had a trailer. Um, I think it's if it's not this month, it's next month. But it's basically have you heard of this game called Late Shift?
Nope.
Okay, so Late Shift is a F&B game where you basically have choices like in real time. It plays like a it's it basically like you're watching a movie and you make choices and like whatever you make the choice of, it goes to like that next part
Yeah,
in the scene, but it's
yeah.
seamless and it doesn't like it's not
Kind
like
of
choppy at
like
all. It's
kind of
like
like the Walking Dead thing from Telltale,
it's
but a little
like
bit
that but in
different.
movie form essentially. It's not
Okay.
it's really interesting cuz
Oh,
it's
like as in there's actual it's like caught on camera, it's like real people, and then they
yeah.
say, "Hey, oh, I think I saw that." That's
There's
like an old game, wasn't it?
there's a thing on Netflix that's like it, but it's like not as good. It's called Bandersnatch, like the Black Mirror
Yes,
thing.
I watched that.
It's not
Yes.
nearly as good as I mean, sorry, Bandersnatch is like not nearly as good as Late Shift. Like it wishes it was that good. Like that's
Yeah.
like Late Shift is like so much better. And then the developers and publishers of that game. I'm not sure if it's the same developer, but it's the same publisher, Wells Interactive. They're also putting out a something like that, but then it's like so like the basis of Late Shift is like essentially you're this dude who's like this car um valet, and then like something happens and you get embroiled in this whole situation of like theft and like breaking the law. And so their next game is essentially there's a pandemic, so it's like a bit too on the nose, but like whatever. It's like as far as timing goes, it's like oh, I mean maybe it could be a good thing for like the publicity, but whatever. So like essentially there's a pandemic, an outbreak, and
What are you talking
like
about?
you have to try and like manage the cure and like how the virus is spreading and like what to and like your choices of like who to save, who not to save, and like all this stuff. So it's like ooh, looking forward to that.
Good. Speaking of that, we might as well take a break and talk about how they predicted this was going to happen. The pandemic and the coronavirus 20 years ago in a book. They said the Wuhan, there's a secret lab, and it's going to it's going to sneak out, and it's not going to stay. It's going to wipe out everybody. And so I just want to take this time to thank Tekken for all the time he had. He'll be the last surviving person. He'll be the Omega Man, and he'll be the Charlton Heston. If you haven't watched Omega Man, you can watch it with Charlton Heston, and then he will have to reseed the population. So, congratulations, buddy. You stay in that apartment or in the mansion. I don't know where you are now because you have so much money. This is you're in your winter residence, aren't you?
Winter residence.
And then when the summer hits, you move to the back to the mansion, right? So that's nice. So, but you stay where you are and don't get sick, and you'll be the Omega Man. And you'll be repopulating the population before you know it, buddy. Absolutely, and that'll be the official language of the new in honor of me. That'll be the new language. We won't talk with words. We'll just go like that. Perfect. You're getting some action, Tech, and I'm giving you the story. Come on now, make that your level on dreams. Is that the whole world's wiped out and you have to repopulate?
That.
There you go. There'll be people uploading that for sure.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, yeah. And some people have been turned into monsters. You got to take care of them, and then you got to save some women who are not. And it can be you can flip it. So if it's a female playing, it'll be men, and she's looking for men. It'd be nice. Can't be sexist. You got to be open in this world. So be open in this world. But yeah, the coronavirus. So it was released in a secret lab. Apparently, that's what Fox News is telling me. Anything the Fox News, and if anything, if any, and of course they asked the Republican people, and they go, "Well, we're not quite sure, but probably it is." It's like, no, you don't know squat. Anyways, I hate Republicans. I'm sorry. I do. And the best part is when the Democrats get in, I'll hate them too. So it's like because they're all eating from the same trough. You know what I'm saying? So don't think they're not. They're all eating from the same trough. They're all eating from the same trough. So take that for what it is. They're all eating from the same trough. Same trough. Anyways, back onto our game. Make sure you timestamp that too, by the way, and just so they can skip that portion of the talk.
I'm not timestamping that part.
You're timestamping.
That was just like a random comment that you made.
Yeah, and then I went on for 5 minutes.
Take responsibility for your actions.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, so Dreams, you're liking it.
I haven't played it. I'm just saying I have it. I thought I didn't have any games this month, but actually I do. Well, technically I do, because it's actually like the full version and not just the early access limited features version.
Yeah. More hoochies. And the new one there's more hoochies. Yes, that's good.
Oh my gosh, when you said that, I was like, I should make a twerking simulator.
There you go. Yeah, what I said won't pass standards, but apparently what you're thinking will. So there you go. That's fantastic.
Just be like, it's a dancing game, okay?
Yeah,
you just
exactly.
Only twerk
with only one dance move. Yeah. with only one dance move. It's a dancing simulation with only one dance move. Exactly.
I'm sure I can think of a bunch of different ways to twerk and
I'm
stuff. So
I'm
yeah.
sh- Oh God. You know something, as much I would love you to do it. I know you won't, but it'd be so great if you did. It'd be so great that you
Or
did.
like a
And you did.
twerk adventure where you like, there's like a fire level, a snow level, a water level, like, forest level, like old school games. And it's like you just twerk your way through adventure or
Yeah.
through
And
danger.
if it's the fire level, then if you twerk enough, it'll extinguish the fire because of all the out of all the the wind created by the twerking. So yes. See, we're writing this down. Some yeah, on the water level, the amount of twerk should be the ripples behind it in the water. And then if you do it enough, it'll create a tidal wave and just wash out the level, and that means you succeeded. And on the Earth level, you do that, and it creates a tornado, and if you do enough, the tornado will pick up everything, and that'll end the scene. You know what I'm saying? So you're doing good. And then if you're up in space, and you're doing the twerk, if you do it so
You're up in
well,
space and doing the
yeah,
twerk.
and you're twerking in space,
Space
the
twerking.
the sun if you do it good enough, the sun will come out, and then your face will be on the sun and go, damn, you're hotter than me, and then that's how you end the level. Write all that down. That's We just made ourselves $1 million, which is nothing for you. For me it's a lot. For you it's just another back scratcher for you because you're so rich, but it's okay. So write all that. Did you write all that down?
It's on.
Timestamp
We
that.
recorded it, so it's fine. I can just go back and
Time
listen.
time timestamp that.
I'm not time stamping that.
Time. That's a great idea. Oh, actually, no, because I don't want nobody else stealing the ideas. So if anybody's not okay, good, good. So, are you going to watch any movies?
Um, Nothing is currently on my radar as far as new releases go. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff I wanted to see. I just haven't seen it because I didn't want to spend money. So, like, I haven't seen the new Jumanji. 1917 looks good. Um, there's another movie I think in there somewhere. People say Sonic's good, but I'm not seeing that. So, yeah,
Why?
because it's like I just don't feel the need
Jenna
to.
liked it.
Good for her.
Wow. There was a time. There's a time a while back that you'd be very interested in what Jenna said.
Shut up.
You went to the bottom of the earth for her and abandoned, and now look at you. Look at both of you.
What
I
that's
miss.
what's that
Okay.
supposed to mean?
Well, every time we play you guys in SOCOM, you guys be down in the bottom of the in the corner in the abandon. And get away from me, you two. Get out of here. Anyways, I wasn't. Didn't she and somebody else dance for you in a video? I think they did. Hey, Tekken.
I don't think that is the case, but
You
maybe
don't
it
think
is
that's
the case.
accurate? You are wrong,
I
sir.
don't. I don't think it was for me, but maybe it was. So like that's I don't remember, dude.
Well, you're a blessed
I
man.
remember there's dancing, but I don't know if it was for me.
Close enough. Anyways,
Close enough.
so what are you doing this summer? I'm coming to see you.
Summer. I'm not. Well, E3 is in June, I believe, and
And,
then
and, and you're going to that.
no, I'm not. And then
Okay.
oh, actually, that is like the word on the street, dude. Is like
No Sony.
E3 not so much apparently this year. Apparently they've like ruined it, and it's going to be a bad time apparently. So we'll see how that happens if it's a train wreck or if it's not. But it looks
Are
like
you
they're
are,
going to ruin it for everybody
are,
and being like
are you
E3 is ruined.
are you surprised?
Yeah, I am because it's like they, yeah, it's like
So
the
what
ins-
did what did, so what did they destroy? What did they ruin?
it's just looking like they're going to use a bunch of like celebrities and influencers to just have a bunch of like people that are have a lot of influence playing games, and then it's like, oh, you should play these games because these people that you like to play the games, and just like use that as marketing, I guess. I don't know. It's in like these lines that like you that you're in the line, but you're constantly being like advertised. I mean, if you're actually there, if you're physically there, it's like worse because it's like you're just constantly being bombarded with like, oh, this game is so awesome. How awesome is it? So awesome, you should buy it. Oh, it's so awesome.
So you're telling me that you finally reached that stage in your life where you've become me.
No, I
Congratulations.
don't know what you're talking about.
It's about time. You have become cynical. You have become me. And I'm glad you have. It's about time you got a little cynical and realized that all they're doing is, and now they're catering to a new uh, section of gamers, the influence people, the new, the young, because they have to, having old gamers, that's fantastic, but old gamers can keep you going for so long, but you need to keep cultivating the youth. And so therefore, they're doing this to get the youth on board and buying things because you know why? Because it's easier to play a game on your cell phone than to spend $80 buying a game. So they have to try to get the young people to realize that $80 is a great deal for a great game. If not, the business is going to die.
I
All
mean, that's not
right?
necessarily true though, because the games that are free to play, you can't just survive as a game and make $0.
True. And you can't spend $5 million making a game with advertising and all that if nobody buys it. And we're dealing with the emergence of the cell phone and smartphones, the dying of an industry. I'm not saying it's going to completely die, but you've already seen all of a sudden there used to be a whole bunch of companies. Now we're shrinking. Now we're
Mm,
shrinking.
I
Now
would
we're
say
shrinking.
I would say that the consolidation phase has already happened. So it's just like
So
who
now,
who
yeah,
hears now is kind of just going to just weather the storm and just either adapt or die.
yep.
So
Exactly. But they need to get the youth, and the youth now have a different way of getting their attention than the older generation. You want to know why?
why?
Because they're goofs. And 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 they do the influencing, and they need, like, it's a whole new different world we're living in, Tekken, for the youth. All right? So there it's the millennial time. Welcome to the millennials. You're not a millennial. I'm not a millennial.
But they say I'm a millennial,
But the
depending on like how
millennials.
you range it.
No, you're not a millennial. Anyways, but they are. That's the next phase. They have to cater to them, and we have to listen to them. Right. So now we have to weather the storm, and you're going to be the crusty old man, and I'm going to be even crustier old man. I'm you're gonna be I'm gonna be the grandpa, and the grandpa doesn't care one way or the other, really. Because now you see I'm upset with politics, just like grandpa is, and you're now the frustrated dad because you're like, what the frick with all the and like that. So you're the frustrated dad. I'm the I don't care grandpa, and we got kids here now. It's gonna be a different marketing scheme for these kids, and they need celebrities to tell them what to buy because they can't think on their own. Well, if Kylie Jenner says play this game, I'll play this game. If Justin Bieber says this
That's
game's fantastic, I gotta play it.
I mean, I don't know, dude. Because I used to think about that. Like, I thought like the end point of streaming would be like when celebrities were streaming. Because it's like, why would you watch some like boring nobody when you could like watch someone that is. I mean, I guess that. Okay, okay, let me restate that because that's like, it came out wrong. I had to put the context there of like in society when like celebrities are worshipped and it's like, oh, they're just like normal people, but people just like whatever, for whatever reason, are just like so enamored by them. Um, and it's just like, okay, would you like rather have someone that you that you have the idol worship thing going on with, or just like some normal person? It's like, yeah, like no chance for the normal people like you and me. So whatever.
Well, you have enough money, you can influence people.
Yeah, right.
That's right. Yeah. So as much as you hate E3, unfortunately, you're going to be seeing more of this because they have to start trying to appeal to some of these younger people. That's all. Like the youth is what the youth is the oil to any machine.
I don't know, dude. I don't think that's the case though, because Because
let's
I mean,
take
that's not always the case though. I mean, there
let's
are like exceptions. I'm saying, like, I mean, I kind of disagree in general, but I would say that's like it's like there are exceptions. Like, there's games that are rated M that like do really good, and like we have the ESRB that like rates them, and it's like, I don't know which sell more, but it's like it's not like you have a game that's rated M and it's a kiss of death and you're not going to sell any copies. So, you know,
okay. So let's talk about one of my favorite topics, and that and what do you think my favorite topic is?
GameStop.
No, let's talk about professional wrestling.
Okay.
Okay, back in the late 1990s, they had two wrestling companies fighting for viewers.
WCW, WWF. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And so they very nice. So they
That was back
have.
when I watched wrestling.
Well, I didn't know about that. See, I learned something new about you. See, I love. Who's your favorite wrestler? I'm thinking Diamond
Ooh.
Dallas Page.
My
Diamond
favorite
Dallas
in
Page.
I like the cruiserweights, so I'd say Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio. He's still wrestling, you know.
Hmm.
20 years, and he's still wrestling. There you
I
go.
also really liked Ultimate Dragon. He just had like a cool presentation and like the
Yes.
mask.
And he had that Dragon Sleeper. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. Choke him out. Anyways,
We should do a wrestling
we should.
podcast.
We really should. This is getting sickening.
Attitude
Eh, eh,
Era.
eh, Yeah, yeah, that's about the level because then we say, hey, let's talk about today. Anyways,
Actually, on Twitch, I was watching, or something happened, like something popped up on my Twitter feed. Oh, actually, like another one of my favorites is Rob Van Dam, and it was like Rod Van
they're all
Dam, and I was
still
like, oh man,
wrestling.
he's still around, and like apparently, yeah. So I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, and apparently, like they stream on Twitch, and I was like, oh man. So like if I
And then
if I
they got kicked off Twitch because they're doing stuff they shouldn't have been doing. So yeah.
but like it's like a thing. It's like a 24/7 loop. So it's like I just check in and see like, is there an RVD match going on? No. Okay. Well, but if there is, oh man, because those are the
Oh
best.
yeah. Oh yes, absolutely. Well, that's very good to know. But wrestling back in the '90s, because Tekken, I used to watch it. They're doing like 13 million between the two shows together. They're like WCW is doing like 7 million. Raw was WWF was doing 6, right? So 13 million. And so now look at it today. And Raw WWF is doing for Monday Night Raw 2 million viewers as opposed to the 6 they were doing in the prime time, right? When the in the thing, it's because and this is the problem that they're getting, and they talk about advertisers and all that, and there's a new federation started up, and they can't get even 1 million people to watch their show, but they're still getting a good part of the shares, right? The viewing portions. But it's the 18 to 49 is where the advertising is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the key demographic that they look at when the show is. But you had a show that had 6 million viewers at one point, even more so when Stone Cold got really into it, and then they bypassed WCW. But they never catered, they never built up stars. People got bored with it, and then they went away. And Lot never came back, right? And so all that's left now is hardcore wrestling fans, and the big fear is take this 5 years, 10 years down the road, and those people won't be there, and where's the future going to be? See, wrestling never catered to try to get young people back into this. Did not try to make it into a family experience, or they made it too expensive to make it a family experience, right? Because they have to keep their shares. Like this month, the monthly quarter that just came, or the quarterly came out, and if it was not for the rights fees that WWE has with Fox, or the deals that they made in Saudi Arabia to put on shows, $50 million for a show, for one wrestling show, twice a year, they would be in absolute trouble because people going to see the matches to the local Wichita, Kansas wrestling play. Nope, nobody's going out there. Nobody's buying the merchandise. Nobody's doing this. Television view ratings are down, but they're already locked in, so they're okay with getting the money. Unfortunately, they're only doing 2 million, which is not what some shows want, the networks want. They want more, right? But they're still winning the timeshare. So SmackDown on Friday is doing about two and a bit. They're doing worse than Raw, but they're on Friday night, right? So they're beating everybody in that 18 to 49 share, right? But you have to look on what they're beating, and they're beating shows like Hawaii Five O and all the shows that old people like to watch. So again, they're not catering to the youth. The youth are really struggling. If you're looking at the 18 to 49, you're going to see a lot more between like mid 30s to late 50s in that range than you see the 18s to 35s, because because you're not getting the youth, and that is a big setback for the future for WWE. If they cannot create stars, and if they can't get the youth to check this out anymore, they're going to have a hard time in 10 years. And by then they'll sell it to Disney, and everybody's happy. That's a rumor. That's a rumor going around that they're
That
trying
would be.
to.
But would you really want to watch watered down Disney wrestling?
No. Well,
Exactly.
the thing is we're already watching that, because
Uh,
back in the heyday of the Attitude Era, you had blood, you had all
yeah,
this kind of stuff.
hardcore
Thank
match.
you. Yeah, but once WWF turned into WWE and then turned into a stock company, right?
Hmm.
They had to get rid of all that. They had to get rid of all the blood. They had to get, like, even if somebody gets busted open by accident now,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
they
You told me this before. They have
they
like the
change.
doctors that come out and stuff.
Yep, and but thing is, when they show it on, they change it. It's no longer colored anymore. It's black and white, so they don't see the red blood, right? So they have to, because they're dealing with a whole bunch of other stuff. So they've sanitized it, and it's for some people say it's for the better. Depends on what age group you're in, right? It doesn't matter to me if somebody's bleeding or not. It's cooler if it is, but not when they do it on purpose. You know,
Yeah.
there's one match that I'll get into that another time. But
You're
anyways,
reminding me of this meme about like the end of Game of Thrones and how it's basically all just for shock value, and like it was basically it was a meme, and it's like the ending scene of Infinity War when Thanos just like walks through all the Avengers and
yeah,
like does what he does to Vision, and it's
yeah,
basically like all the things that they did after they ran out of source material in the books. And it's
yeah,
just like he's just like womp 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 womp, and it's like Game of Thrones final season, and then it's got like at the end it's got like Daenerys Targaryen and like shock value, and it's like
yeah,
oh, because
yeah.
they didn't really care, because yeah.
Well, who's to blame for that? I say the guy who didn't get the books read. Yeah,
I mean, it's not
he had,
necessarily true,
he had all those years to finish writing the book. Didn't write it. There you go.
because once you're out of source
Blame
material,
him.
dude, you're just out in the
Yeah.
water. That's a
So
lot,
that.
that happens to anime a lot. It's like, they go off the manga, and then they just like split, or they just like stop, or they like do their own thing, and then like once
Yep.
the manga catches up, it's like a completely different. You have like parallel storylines of like this is what could have been, or this is
Yep.
how the story goes in the anime universe, but in the
Yep.
manga, it's like
No.
actually it went this way.
Yep. Tentacles. 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 That's what they say. Don't know what to do. Throw in a tentacle. Yep. What do we do with this tentacle? Well, I
Whatever.
got some ideas for you. It's like, wow. Anyways, Tekken, stop it. Anyways, so yeah, so they're catering to the youth, unlike wrestling did, right? So therefore, unfortunately
Yeah,
for
but
you,
my argument would be is like you
crusty
don't
old
you don't
man,
have to, because like the biggest
yes, you
demographic
do.
in gaming is 35 and up, or 30 and up.
People,
Like that is
yeah,
like the
but
biggest demographic.
thing is, what happens 10 years when the people
Besides,
who are 20?
like all the young people play Nintendo anyway, so it's like essentially that is like, in my opinion, that's just how the system works. It's like when you're a kid and you're young, you play Nintendo stuff, and even if you're not, there's other stuff out there on the other consoles to play that's like for kids, but it's not as good in my opinion. So it's like whatever. So it's like have fun with that. And then it's like if you want to play on a phone, it's like okay, fine, whatever. Because it's like in my opinion, those games are terrible anyway. So it's like you're just playing like with garbage. You might as well just like crawl around in the landfill. And so it's like, in my opinion,
And find ET?
sure, ET in a landfill. It's like when you do
Thank
get a
you.
taste of how like amazing it is, like when you're not playing that.
The sweet space nectar,
Like, what?
the celestial juices, the sweet taste of the celestial juices.
Space nectar.
The game's nectar. And you get that sweet taste of the celestial juices.
Yeah, you finally have had your taste of like actual real gaming after like the garbage on mobile that you've been wasting your life away with, and
Yeah,
then
but
you see
these
how much
kids
better it
nowadays, they
is.
don't know that it's garbage.
They will once they've like played a real game
But why spend $8 when they can buy it? They can just
or
play a game on their global for
a much
free.
better experience in game because oh my
But
gosh,
this
dude,
game
it's
is so
because have
hard.
you not played a free to play game? Do you not know what the like struggle bus is when you're playing those and it's just a grind fest of like hey, go do this thing. Oh, level up. Oh, get power. Oh, you're out of energy. Do you want to pay? Do you want to pay? You want to keep playing? Want to keep playing? Okay. I mean, some aren't that bad as far as like put money put money in because nothing's
Are you talking about the Destiny the stripper?
no.
Power up, power up, power up. Oh, you need more money.
Or it's like you want these sweet skins and emotes.
Level
You want
up.
these sweet skins and emotes and like these dances. You want some stuff. You want some stuff
You
because
want to twerk till the sun says you're
essentially
too
you
hot.
either have to grind away and play for like a ton of time to get your free currency, or just like pay us $5 now. Wham bam, thank you. Here you go. And like it's sure it's free if you you know grind your soul out into our game, like with all the time that you're gonna waste. Or just give us $5 and like we just take it all off the top, and that's how we make so much money. Because look at Epic, just all that money, all that Fortnite money that they spent, and
The
they made,
celestial juices.
and they and they're like, how can we make even more money if we make Epic Game Store and like maybe it'll rival Steam? And they're in their hubris, they're like, how can we? What should we do with all this money? Try to make even more money, and it's just like that's like the dark side of the gaming industry is how like how 1% it gets. It's like oh we gotta please our shareholders, like I said about the WWE thing. It's like oh how are we gonna make our quarterly earnings boosted even more this quarter? It's like oh we gotta just charge even more, like put out more DLC or just pump up the prices on all the microtransactions. It's just like it's a mess. It's a whole mess. It's a whole mess, and it's just like not all games are like that, but the ones that are just like super predatory, and I don't like them, and just like they're the worst. But then there's still like the decent ones out there. So
Mm,
it's a whole thing. It's a whole
whatever,
thing.
whatever.
It's a whole
How it
thing.
is, whatever. Mm.
I forget how did we even get on this whole thing about
Because I kept saying the kids are they're kidding we're kids now,
oh yes
and then
okay
you
yeah
and
yeah
then you went off on celestial juices, and
that
then it was all downhill from there.
I'm just saying it's like there's ESRB, there's games across the spectrum of like age groups, so there's something for you whatever age you are or whatever you want to play. So it's like whatever, dude. And then it's like you know if you're playing on I'm trust me, dude. Okay, it's like if I played something on mobile and I played it on like PC or console, it's like oh I mean it. People say that it's like getting closer in like as far as like quality goes, but it's like it's like until I can use a controller or like not just be tapping away on the screen. That's not for me. That's not my cup of tea, dude. I mean, that might be for you. Good for you. Have fun. But for me, it's all about playing on like a 40-inch screen in HD with my surround sound headset on and just like having a blast and like doing whatever I'm doing. Unless if I'm grinding away, I'll grind away. If I'm hunting monsters in Monster Hunter, I'll hunt monsters. If I'm shooting aliens in the face in Destiny, I'll shoot aliens in the face. If I'm what else racing down the streets in Gran Turismo, it's like whatever I want to do. That's how I'm doing it. And super deliciousness. I mean, I don't have a 4K TV yet, so it's still 1080 on Tekken side. Nah, I haven't upgraded there because I'm waiting for PS5. But
Oh
when that
yeah.
does happen, oh PS5, oh I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. Ah, but it's like like I just don't get how you can like look at that and then like look at your phone and be like, oh, this is so good. Oh, so fun. Oh, so great. Oh man, look at the colors. Look at the shapes. Oh, look at that
All right,
sound. Here, listen to
all
that
right.
sound.
What does that sound? What does that say exactly? Something about my mom. She's not happy about that, by the way. I'm flying. I'm flying down to Wichita. Actually, let's find out how much it would take to get to Wichita, Kansas. I'm going to. I'm not saying that's where you live, but all right. I want to so I can fly down there. All right, flights to probably doesn't. Probably planes don't even come close to there. Flights to how do you spell Wichita? Wait, Wichita, Kansas, Kansas. Keep talking. Oh, by the way, it's nice that your president said that you know, the great state of Kansas,
I saw
Kansas City.
that.
That's that's awesome.
Did you see the meme from Endgame with Thor and Star Lord, and then like, and then oh, I can't remember what it was. It was something like, wh- where the, like, it was like Kansas and Missouri, and like Thor's Kansas and Star Lord's Missouri, and it's like, we're the place where the Chiefs play, right? And then
Yeah.
it's like, and like Star Lord's like, yeah, right? Because like at
Yeah,
the end
right, right,
when he's like,
right.
I'm in charge, right? And
Yeah,
Thor's like,
right.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm in charge, right?
I thought that was great. Oh,
All right. So if I leave Toronto uh, on Monday the 2nd of March, and I return on the 9th, which I won't, I need to get there sooner because the police will be after me for shooting somebody. Find flights. Let's see. They told me I was going to get like $239 or something like that. I don't need no alerts. All right. $319 to come and shoot you. That's all right. Would you pick me up at the airport at 11:48 p.m.?
you could just Uber it, dude.
I didn't ask you that. I asked if you're gonna pick me.
I mean, maybe, sure.
There you
Why
go.
not?
Why not? It'd be nice. I am coming for you to visit you, so it's like okay. It's like 6 hours to fly there. How does that work? One stop. Okay, I guess that's why, because nobody really goes to Wichita. Like, man, that's a lot of. I think that's a long time. 6 hours? That's ridiculous. Well, maybe that's because the hour and a half. They make that look like it's different. Okay. All right. Anyways, I'll meet you at a duel sometime this summer. We'll make it work. If I came down to Wichita, Kansas, all right, would I be able to stay in your apartment?
Sure.
Okay. Why you make it sound like that?
I
Is
mean, I have
something
like
going down?
one bed and a couch, so it's like, have fun sleeping
Yeah,
on one
we
of those.
have fun. Yeah, you can have the couch. I have no problem with
I
that.
mean, my bed's an air
Thanks.
mattress. I should, point that out. So, have fun with that.
That's how the rich stay rich. Uh, it- when you say air matches, do you mean just a kiddie pool turned upside down?
No, no. Kiddie pool turnips.
Is that what you mean by air mattress? Like, wow, the edges sure are bumpy, but this middle part sure is like there's a lot of give here. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, man.
That's all right. Anyways, well, that's good. Well, did we talk about everything? I know you had some things you wanted to talk about,
I
and
didn't
we
talk
already
about The
passed
Witcher
the
because
hour,
last
so
time you asked me to watch it and I watched it. It was great. It was awesome. It was amazing.
see, I told. Well, we talked about boobies last time, so it's like,
That was something I wanted to bring up this episode. Hunchback sex. Oh yeah,
yeah.
that
See,
was in there. You didn't say that.
sorry,
That threw me off.
what wasn't in there?
No, I said I didn't know that was in there because you didn't bring it up, and it totally like threw me off. And I was like, this is gonna be burning in my brain forever.
Hunchback sex.
Yep,
Oh,
hunchback sex.
wow. Well, it works. Does it make you want now? Have you played much of The Witcher? I know you're saying you're going to, but then you're saying you want to
Eventually.
play the game first. I said, don't you ever worry about playing the game. It says it's just it's a nice little, and I went through a nice little soliloquy on what the games meant, right? And I can't remember what it was, but it was nice. It was nice. I let people listen to it, and they went, "Wow, Joe, that's actually very good." I said, "Yeah, I know." I said that's surprising coming from you. I went, "What? That's rude." Anyways, so that's good. And you liked it. What was your favorite part?
Oh man, I have you seen Westworld?
A little bit,
The first season anyway, because I
a
haven't
little
seen
bit.
I haven't seen past the first season, but it reminded me in of that because it's like you have a bunch of things going on and then something happens and you're like, oh man, that was actually that part. And like, the way in the orders, like
Yes.
when you told me it was like out of order, and I was like, what? And I was like watching it, like I did not personally have like an issue with like the X, I binged it, so it's like, I didn't
Yep.
really, I didn't like have any issue as far as like, the out of orderness of like
Yep.
watching them, or like the way that the story is told anyway, I should say, because you can like know from like when you're watching it, when like you meet certain characters of like, this person has already died. So it's like when you see them in a future episode, you like know that this is in the past, and
Yeah.
then something happens, and it's like okay, but then you see how that the a part before that even like led up to where they were at, or like where they're at now, and how it leads up to where like something in the future, and it's like, oh, that's how that happened, or like how that's how that went down. It's like, ooh. I also really like the law of chance, or whatever, the thing of like, I
Yes.
don't know what I will have in the future, but I will, you know,
Yeah.
whatever, share it with you, or whatever. Or that can be the thing that I pledge to you as a
Yeah.
something I don't have now to give you. I thought that's pretty cool, and how it
Yeah.
like always would like
Yeah.
turn out badly.
Yeah.
I thought that
Exactly.
was great because it's like I really like the whole thing in that universe of like don't f with destiny. It's like you don't want to
Yeah.
f with destiny, dude. It's like
Yeah.
things are meant to be, and like if you mess with it, it's gonna f you. So
Yeah. Pretty much.
that was great.
Exactly.
I like the whole bard thing of like the dude following him, and then like always like lying about what happened. He's like, "Well, I had to make it a good song, so I kind of had to change the words. So sorry."
Yes. Dandelion. Absolutely.
And then I like the way the magic works is like there's a cost for everything, so I thought that was
Hmm.
cool. So like when they're
Exactly.
like the first lesson, and they're like, and she's like, turn this flower into a whatever, I can't remember, and then they had a stick there, or like a little herb flower
Yeah.
thing, and then a lady does it, and she's like, I did it, but then her hand gets all effed up, and it's like, ugh. And she's like, haha, lesson number one.
You're like, well, what about my hand now?
There's
He's like, no.
always a cost.
Yeah.
And then oh, I thought oh, that was great too. Is like I really enjoyed like the whole like hierarchy of like the kingdoms, and how like you had like the king and the queen, and then you had like the the magical advisor. It's like,
Hmm.
oh, so like each kingdom has like a mage that's part of the guild that like advises them
Yeah.
and tries to like lead them not astray or whatever. So I thought that was
Hmm.
cool. As far as, and then like they have like and then like even like the mage thing, they have like their whole thing of like they meet, and they're like, okay, so what's going on in that kingdom? Oh, okay, everybody report in. What's up? What about you guys? How's it going over there? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then like,
Yeah.
and then when the war breaks out, everybody's like, oh man, what's happening? And then they have to be like, oh man, we gotta stop this. This guy's going crazy.
They,
He's gonna take it all over and
yeah.
kill us all. Ah.
The mages had the real power, and they just and by getting together with all the other mages, they were able to formulate and make a strong kingdom. But then, yeah, then the jackasses come in with and then they just messed everything up. Absolutely.
Um, let's see. I really just overall enjoyed Yennefer's arc as a character, because she starts
I'm
out
sure you
like as
did.
the
The Archer were back. I'm sure.
shut up. The whole like hunchback, and then like when she got to the place at the Magic Academy, her teacher would like call her Piglet. I
Hmm.
was like, oh, that's so mean.
Hmm.
And then like she kept calling, like she like would never call her by her name. It's just like, dude, that's so mean. And then like how it changed her, it just like made her who she was. It was just like, man, she just wants power. She just wants
Hmm.
power. She's like, I'm like a mad crazed with power person. And I was like, man, that was a very delicious, satisfying arc of just like, I want power, and I'm going to kill everybody in my way until I get it all. And I was like, man, I thoroughly enjoyed that. I was like, that was delicious.
Hmm.
Um, let's see what else. What else? Lot of good stuff. The fight with the Scala, not the Scalaga, the fight with, or whatever that monster was with that Geralt fought when the
Oh yeah,
daughter
yeah,
that turns into the monster. That was,
yeah. Hmm.
man. That was brutal. That was great. That was. eh, I'm not gonna say that was the best episode, but that was like amazing. That was like top tier Netflix quality streaming goodness. It was great.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed. I'm glad one of my recommendations you took and enjoyed. So there you go. Because a lot of times you don't.
It was great, and then it made me want to play the games, and I was like, man, I gotta play this. I gotta play this before season two comes out. And then yeah, just I watched a YouTube video, and apparently they're all based on the novels. So if you want the real story, you have to read the books. But I will, yeah, do that, not right now, because Because there's like a bunch. There's like seven, at least 7 or 8 or something. It's like, no, that's a lot of reading.
Hmm.
I think I'll just not worry about that right now and just enjoy just playing the games because that's a funner time than that. So yeah.
Oh wow, that's good. All right, buddy. Anything else?
Um. Do. Anything else? Hmm. What have you been playing since you asked me what I was playing?
Bit of Witcher. I am thinking about downloading the Bioshock collection. Haven't done it as of yet. But besides that, nothing much. I
So
should get back to my Fire Pro, but I say, oh, once I get in that, I'll be sucked in again for months on end, booking companies and getting wrestlers to wrestle. Yes, and signing up wrestlers. It's gonna be fun. Yep.
are you not gonna pick up Division 2 for $3 and play it with me?
EU grind against Tom Clancy is, I think, is enough for all of us. Really, I think that's how it's gonna be. That's okay. We'll see. We'll see what the deals are, and that's not a bad deal. But I guess, but my memory though, I only have like 100 gigabytes on my memory left. So it's like I gotta preserve it.
You can always just delete stuff you're not playing. That's what I do.
What happens if I want to play it again?
Then download it again or install it again or whatever.
We'll see. We'll see.
That's what it's
We'll
there
see.
for.
We'll see. That sounds like communism.
What?
That sounds like communism. Anyways, all right, big man. I have to split. I have to go enjoy my family day.
Okie dokie.
But we'll have to do this soon once you realize that Fantastic Four and X-Men were totally piece of crap.
I didn't say it was good.
It makes everybody look bad. And I don't like a book that makes everybody look bad.
It They have to establish some sort of conflict in the front end, okay?
Okay.
And then
But thing is, you're saying in the front end, it feels more like the back end now
how does it feel like the back end?
because it's all shit.
I just want Franklin Richards to like be free to make his own choice instead of like his dad be like, "Ha! I put a
Oh
chip in
yeah.
you without,
Oh
or I
yeah.
did
That's
that
no
thing to
fun.
you without you knowing. You thought you could go to Krakoa? Not so fast, son. Mwahaha. Take the boat with Kitty. Sneak
Oh yeah.
out
Hey.
while I'm not
Yeah.
looking."
Yeah. And all Franklin's doing is chasing some kitty around. So and on that note,
He took his sister with him, so that's not
yeah.
true. Not 100% true.
Not
Otherwise,
100% true.
like everything you say.
Like everything I say, that's horrible. I think my wrestling was right on the dot, but that's okay. We'll let you go for now. All right then, buddy. Well, sign us off.
Okie dokie. Well, that's it for Comic Talk Podcast for uh
17th.
today or whatever,
Everybody.
February 17th,
Buenos
2020.
Buenos dias. Don't parade. Scooby Dooby. Lakadikadoogu.
I don't
Shamalake.
say
Avita Zane.
bye in all
Avita
the
Zane.
languages, okay? I just say hello in all the
Oh.
languages to start it, okay?
Do you get a lot of responses for people who hey, you spoke my language?
No, I don't.
Oh, you should stop it
No.
then. I'm just kidding. You're a good man. All right.
Okay, so yeah, that was the Comic Talk Podcast for this week. So, or for now. So until you see or hear from us again, we're
Ciao.
now signing off.